Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's Tournament Game 7, where we are playing Helheim. It is turn 56, and let's see how things go. Alright, so, we still have not had a billion attacks launched upon us. Cool. Let's see how we do with all of the site searching, etc. Nothing on Harspecs, no more. Did some corpse manic construction, did a revive king. Nothing on this bowl of blood. Arcane probing, unfortunate. We really want to see if we get lucky on, because we're only doing one arcane probing per turn. Really crossing our fingers that we get lucky on that. Bowl of blood, nothing. Another corpse man construction, reanimation. Auspex has found us an enchanted windmill. That's a +1 air site. Nice. Nothing with Harspecs. Nothing with reanimation, or got a reanimation. Nothing with dark knowledge. Nothing with bowl of blood. Gop has answered the Bind Ice Devil summons. That is the last of the Ice Devils. Another reanimation. Bowl of Blood found nothing. Voice of Apsud has found an Enchanted Well. And that is a +1 water site. Cool. Other Voice of Apsud found nothing. More Corpse Man construction. Nothing with Dark Knowledge. Nothing with Augury. That's really unfortunate. So we only have a single augury per turn, and I was really hoping, like, we've done, I don't know, 5 or 6 auguries now, it feels like, and we just have not been getting anything. That is bad. That is very bad. In fact, we might actually come in and target specifically augury. Normally, I just let site searches go auto, but we're so low on fire gems that we might have to specifically target some things and hopefully get lucky. Nothing with Bowl of Blood. We searched with her 17. That was just kind of like a doing whatever, because we're wanting to build up that province, but we don't have the money to dedicate to it yet. So just kind of holding with her 17 there. Probably going to, in retrospect, move him up to Robber Home. Hang of 5 searched Robber Home, found nothing. Oriax searched Robber Home and found a double bottom lake and a Mercury Pond. The Mercury Pond, let's just go to the commander real quick. Mercury Pond is a +2 water site, and then the double bottom lake is a water and nature. So 3 water, 1 nature. That takes our water up to 13 and our nature up to 17. Of course, the nature is +10. So not having very good luck with nature yet either. We've been getting almost nothing with our Haruspexes. So that's unfortunate. So we did, Oriax found those 2 sites in Robber Home. We had another turn of blood hunting. Significantly less luck this time around. 14, 17, and 33. So what is that? That's 50 off of these 2, 64 in total. 64 is still okay, right? But the goal is to have basically around 120 per turn, so that we can afford almost anything on our docket, at least one of almost anything. So that's kind of unfortunate. We still have a little bit of a bank. We're going through that bank because of all the Bowl of Blood castings, and unfortunately with that, we're also not getting very lucky on the Bowl of Blood castings. So kind of a mixed bag here. This isn't like an uh-oh moment, especially considering we're about to start another blood hunting project in Pulmonia, but this is a subpar turn for us. We get to witness a battle in Saren Fortress, so let's go Forest, sorry. See how that goes. And it is at a fortress, so this is Tuatha warriors, this army that we've been kind of tracking, attacking an Abyssian province. I think this is actually an Abyssian throne. There is an Anathement Salamander here, and just a scout, so probably not going to be able to do much. The Demon Bread are still really strong defenders in sieges. So it looks like they just routed. That's happened like the last 2 times. It just seems like they instantly rout. I wonder why. Maybe they count as demons, and he's got no demon leadership or something? Good check. Pop back into that and grab. Oh, right. We can't see them. Yeah, we can. Never mind. Misbred. The misbred are defective and malformed demon breads? Must be led by... Okay, so it doesn't say that, right? Part undead, part demon. That's what it is. Okay, it's not a true demon or undead. It has ancestry, and it must be led by someone with undead leadership, which no one has. You know what? That kind of feels like an oversight, because this guy here, it comes... So the defense comes with an anathemet salamander, and it feels like whatever commander is leading the garrison of your fortification should be able to control them, but he can't. So if it's just these guys, they'll fly away. That's pretty shit, actually. Like, that doesn't seem right. I would go so far as to say, like, if that's working as intended, that shouldn't be working. That shouldn't work that way. Whatever is here should have some undead leadership. Even if it's just a special anathemet salamander that just has some undead leadership to lead these guys, right? Because that's shitty to say that my garrison's defense will retreat if it's just the garrison commander because he doesn't have undead leadership. That's dumb. That's real dumb. Sorry. Got off on a little tangent. So I feel like it's pretty rare. Most things in my mind make a lot of sense in Dominions. But sometimes you run into things like that, and it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. That's really weird and kind of shitty. Anyways, easy victory there in Saren Forest. Actually loses 3 Tuatha warriors to the anathemet salamander. Interesting. Got a couple of events. Plus 250 tax in Dead Forest. Dead Forest, we take a look. Dead Forest has 66 income. So what? That's because I think it's an additional, because you can get like a plus 100% tax. I think. I don't know if it's. Let's read that again. Tax plus 250%. So in my mind, I read that as 350%, right? But I could be wrong there. So we either got like, if it's just 250%, we either got what, like 150 income out of Dead Forest this turn, or we got like 210 income out of Dead Forest this turn. Either way is nice, right? Either way is a nice little bonus of at least anywhere from about 100 gold to about 160 gold. So that's pretty cool. Not quite the big gold events that we've been happening, but it kind of qualifies, right? And then in Tiny Willow, we actually, naked people have been seen dancing and singing in the woods. Seen as an ill omen and faith has decreased. So we lost some dominion in Tiny Willow. We've been picking up a couple of different sneaking enemies. We found a monster boar in Robberhome, which I'm assuming is the reason why there's that massive unrest in Robberhome, right? The monster boar event probably spawned there, and it picked up a bunch. Eventually, it got the satyrs and centaurs to attack, and then they held that province, and the unrest kept ticking up. Really good, actually, for us to find this monster boar, because now we can actually we can actually patrol this province down and get it back under control, which is hopefully going to be useful. We found a Furbolg scout, and we found a Kalian scout. The construction of palisades in Dofaros is completed. Did a whole bunch of patrolling. Cool. What are we doing this turn? we have a fort on this throne province, the Throne of Earth. We have a fort on the throne of the first stage. Great. Let's talk from a kind of world perspective before we get into the nitty-gritty of what we're doing. Tir Nanog now sits on 4 thrones. They sit on Durshid, they sit on Yellow Caves, they sit on Ossuary, and they sit on Saren Forest. They just took Saren Forest, right? We know, having seen the battle here, that he has a prophet in Saren Forest. I don't remember which one it is, though. Yeah, Skeletor the Prophet, okay? So this guy is one of his only H3s. Obviously, his god is an H3. Wherever the fuck... Oh, here we go. Oh, did we not get to see a battle in Brightwoods? That must have happened previously, then. That's a fair number of thralls and vampires, I suppose. He probably just hasn't taken it back yet. So, I don't know if his god is a immobile god or what. I assume, having seen his bless, that it's probably just a rainbow chassis. So his god should be mobile. Currently, he controls the Throne of Knowledge. That's it. He now has access to 3 more thrones, unless he has jumped into this pond and achieved bishop fishness, which we're actually we're sending a scout over in that direction to try to keep eyes off or eyes on. Then there's no way that he can win in this instance, right, in this moment. However, we, having taken Robber home, we are right the fuck next to Tir Nanog, right? We are close. We have to be sure that we can hold on to Robber home without him just taking showing a hand, right, that he has more than just his god and his prophet as H3s, right? If he shows that, if he just hits us all of a sudden and boom, takes everything, he could very easily do a throne rush. So we want to get eyes on Devil's Pond, see if he has access to something like Bishop Fish, and we want to... Actually, I want to check his... I'm looking up the Tir Nanog heroes. I think we already did this, but I am still somewhat curious. Alright, so here's the thing. Tir Nanog has an H3 hero with worthy heroes on, I think. Yeah. So he has a couple of heroes. Most of them unique heroes. Most of them are H2s. But he does have, I think it's actually in the base game, there's a hero called Lu, the Long-Handed, who is an H3. So he could have that hero, and that could mean that he has access to 3 throne takers right now. So basically, the point being is that Tir Nanog is in a very good position, and we have to do something about that. I've been talking to Calum. They are interested. But obviously, they're also trying to win the game, right? So we have to keep eyes on them and make sure they don't take enough thrones to win things. But if Calum can take Durshid, for example, and I can hold on to Robberhome, I'm fine letting Tir Nanog sit on 3 thrones. Okay, right? But it's still not great. So we're in a precarious situation. We've known that we're in a precarious situation, though, for a long time. This whole scenario between Tirnanog getting strong, Kalem being strong, everyone leaving the war against Kalem. Just the situation that we're in is in it's a pickle, right? So we have to play our cards very cautiously. I don't know that we have a chance to win this game in the long run, honestly. But we're going to do our best, and we're going to, at the very least, if we don't feel like we can win, we're going to make it as difficult for whoever does as possible. Okay? So, knowing that, let's actually take a look at what is going on this turn. Specifically, we do not have a whole lot of movement this turn, so I'm going to cover the movement first, and then we'll go past each location and actually talk about what's going on in them. So we are sending King 11 with a full complement of undead to Osins. And this is just part of an endeavor, right? And it's not going to be super duper effective because undead does not have a whole lot of siege defense, right? So if we take a look at all of these undead, they have 0.1 siege defense. So 80 undead at 0.1 siege defense is what, like 8 siege defense? So it's not really a bunch. But they can see undead. So it's a mental note, right? People, when they're looking at my fortifications, they cannot see anything that's glamored, right? They can't see my hairdmen. They can't see my hellherdings. But they can see my undead. So putting undead in locations can help me project strength, right? It can help me be like, hey, actually there's an army there, and you can see the undead, but you can't see the glamored units. So there could be 80 undead here, or there could be 200, or 80 undead and 200 glamored units. You don't know, right? So we are moving King 11 as just part of a chance to project some power, but also it just helps to, if I have an army in a location, even if it's a small army and it can't provide that much siege defense, it's still an army that helps hold a fort down if need be. Okay? So that's what we're doing with King 11. And then up here in Saramatia, we're actually sending King 4 with an almost full complement, not quite, but almost, as well as Hanga 4. So King 4 is coming in as a move and patrol, because we want to try to get this unrest down in Robberhome, because we want to start recruiting in Robberhome. Okay? So we're sending in King 4, and everyone else who is here is patrolling. Okay? And then Hanga 4 is going in to actually claim the throne of the first age, which should be good for us. Let me change this and send her 17. Because he can research, and then if I decide I do want to beef up Gifa later, we can do it at that point. But for now, it's more important to get bodies into Robberhome. Now, we do have an issue, right? Kalem has a massive army on our border. We are not probably capable of defending ourselves against Tirnanog or Kalem if they attack us with a concerted effort. Kind of just is what it is. But, like I said, we're investing heavily into that concept of very powerful chassis with blood magic. So, let's go around all of our different locations now and talk about what's happening. We're patrolling in Robberhome with everything that we have here. This is a decent amount of our strength, so that is somewhat scary. But I think it's worthwhile to have it here, defending this, because this is a very important thing that Tirnanog needs to win. So everything here is relatively normal with what we've been doing. I'm actually considering taking these. Yeah, we're just gonna do it. I was gonna say I'm considering doing this thing, but I'm gonna stop considering and I'm just gonna do it. So we're just doing this because Hanga 7 has the Crown of Titans, much better chance, and we're actually gonna give the Horn of Valor over to him. So we'll have inspirational too. So these Hell Herdings are very high morale, even though they're in hostile dominion. Pretty good. This guy's got battle fright, and he still has 4 morale. That's decent, not bad. So that's very good. And then, of special note, we have started to outfit Gerskogel. We put the Eye of Aiming on her now. She's up to 24 precision, which is pretty dope. She's got the Spirit Helm, which will do lightning bolts at 28 precision, which is going to be cool. She's currently doing the Flame Bolt at 26 precision. And we'll talk about some of the other stuff that we're going to be doing with her. This is, again, not an efficient use of time. This is kind of just a side project, just goofing around. I just think it's fun. So we're turning Gerskogel into a master archer. So, whatever. Cool. That's pretty much it for Robberhome. Down in Sarmatia, we've got a couple of different things going on. We are recruiting a Van Jarl here. We're trying to make sure that we spend money in our Sarmatian lands, even though we're still very tight on income. We're kind of very reliant on those mass gold options to kind of like bring us in things. So, we are continuing to do site searching via Auspex, Bowl of Bloods, etc. Dark Knowledge. We're doing more corpse construction. The special thing that we're kind of doing in Sarmatia this turn, and again, this is not efficient, but it's fun, is we're making an ivory bow. So this is the ivory bow. It is a 15 death gem, 5 air gem item. So not a super common cross path for everyone. It's basically the Wailing Winds cross path, a very valuable cross path, but not a lot of people have access to it. This bow is decent damage, armor piercing, and the special effect of it is that if it kills something, they will rise as soulless beings. And soulless beings, right, obviously are very weak. But it interests me. The idea interests me of having this master archer that's just like, poof, boom, someone dies, and then, you know, a soulless pops up and you know, oh god, everyone's like, oh shit, and they turn and they attack it, but that's a turn that they're not doing other stuff, right? It does come with 3 attacks. Now, I don't know, right? So it's 3 attacks, but it has 12 ammunition. I do not know if that means it will shoot 3 times in a turn and use 3 pieces of ammunition, or if it will use 1 piece of ammunition for 3 shots. I'm interested to find out. And then on top of that, if it hits you and it doesn't kill you, it can decay you. So this is what we're going to utilize on Gerskogel. We're going to give her the ivory bow. We're probably also going to boost up her strength via Boots of the Giant and Girdle of Might, those types of things, in order to just give her a little bit of extra damage on this bow. It's just cheeky nonsense, doesn't matter, but it's fun. So that's what's happening in Hanga, or in Sarmatia. In Brightgate, just doing some Bowl of Blood spam and some Haruspecs. Probably we don't have many more turns of Bowl of Blood spam, by the way. We're pretty close to being done with Bowl of Blood. I guess maybe not. Maybe like 2 or 3 more turns of Bowls of Blood. But anyways, more Bowl of Blood, more Haruspecs. Continuing to build a palisade in Zimria. We're actually getting a pretty decent stockpile of ghouls between Shrimcliver and Ormon, right? So that's somewhat interesting. In Dopharos, we are starting up the fortress immediately, so that's good. In Dead Forest, we are doing a whole bunch of different things. We're doing Boots of the Messenger, Haruspecs, Augury. Hopefully, actually, we talked about this. So, where's the Augury currently targeting? It's targeting Wise Spring Grove. Okay, that seems acceptable. Let's target that mountain instead. High Peaks. Hopefully we get lucky and find. We have... How many have we actually done? We did Dead Forest, Shrimcliver, Lyratos, Rame, Sinafe, Dendra Nigra. Good. And then we manually site searched in Brightgate. So that's like 7. Yeah, that's like 7 locations that we haven't really got much out of. We got a Lantern Fens. We have +2 to our fire gems. One being from that Lantern Gem Fens, and I don't know where the other one is from, actually. I don't even think we found the other one because of our augury. I think we found the other one because of it was just there. Actually, I bet it's off of... yeah, see, it's not... It's off of a geyser, right? So it's off of a water search. Fucking A. Man, that's not good. So we're really unlucky with our fire income right now. Hopefully that changes in the near future. Otherwise, next turn... Now, fortunately, we have enough to keep doing auguries every turn, but we're about to not be able to do lightless lanterns as well. So... fingers crossed that we get lucky on an augury or 2. And again, I'm not looking for a massive fire income. I'm just looking for a little bit of a fire income. If we get lucky, we get lucky. Sure. So aside from that, some more lightless lanterns. We are starting up our Naiad warriors here in Dead Forest so that we can have units close to Defaros. So if we want to double check, Naiad warriors are here. You get 15 of them for 18 gems, or they are the Kidnids, or Kydnids. I don't know what the pronunciation is. They're decently statted. They're not anything crazy, but they're decently statted. We'll check them out next turn when we actually have some. We're doing another Voice of Apsu, Ring of Regeneration, and another Water Bracelet. We are getting another Jade Sorceress. This Jade Sorceress will likely be sent off somewhere. Off to Saramatia or off to Robberhome, and will probably be either another Voice of Apsu caster or will potentially be another Naiad warrior summoner. But we have to be careful with our water gems. We have a bunch, but we don't have enough to just do 36 gems worth of summoning every single turn. So, all right. Anyways, that is Dead Forest. Over in Kohnberg, mostly nothing new. Continuing to do Owl Quills, doing another Armor of Knights here, recruiting another Van here. We are putting a lab down in Pulmania and starting blood hunting, starting patrolling. Again, our eventual goal is to have about 100 to 120 blood slaves every single turn. Fingers crossed. Nothing happening in Osens. And then in Helheim, what do we got going on? We have some Gnome Lore, Corpseman Construction. That's going to be going... Corpse Construction is going to be going basically for the rest of the game. In theory, we get 6 a turn off of a single air gem per turn. So it's very efficient for bodies. But Corpsemen are really bad combatants without buffs. And with buffs, they're really bad combatants compared to other people with buffs, right? So they're really just chaff. There is a special thing, and I'm gonna notate this about them. And actually, I need to do this. I need to show rather than just tell. So we're sending King 4 out with all of these Corpsemen constructions to Robberhome, right? Another really interesting thing about corpse constructions is you can use them to play an HP game with your units. If you have lower numbers of really skilled units, or I mean in this case we have way more, but say you only had 20 Hellherdings, right? If you have 50 corpse constructions behind them, keep in mind, the Hellherdings are only 14 hit points. The corpse constructions are 25, right? So you have the Hellherdings in front, you have the corpse constructions in back. You have elite troops that are less likely to die, and they're fighting against the enemy, and they're grinding against the enemy, and you have basically this HP pool in the back that helps keep your elite troops from routing. Now, there are some mixed bags in that, right? I think you have a global health morale check for HP routes, and then I think units themselves also have checks for HP routes. But it's just something that you can do to kind of like help stack things a little bit in your favor. If you know you're going into something that's dangerous and you just need your elite troops to hold, you can stack HP in certain scenarios where, you know, like, I don't know, I've seen people with like giant commanders or things like that. Just stack them in the back. Like don't do anything. Please don't fight. Don't get engaged or what have you. But they're just HP pools, right? Corpse constructions can be like that. Very good HP pool. So we're doing more corpse construction. We're doing another Armor of the Knights. This is because we're kind of out of armor options, so we're doubling up. Armor of the Knights is about the cheapest and most efficient thing that we can do. That's pretty good, right? It's pretty damn good armor. We are doing Boots of Strength. This is for Gerskogel. We already have a Girdle of Might, so Boots of Strength are 5 strength. So plus 5 strength, plus 3 strength. You get a third of that strength. If we can find a little way to cheat in one more strength on Gerskogel, and I'm not sure what it would be, because this is going to take up a miss slot and a boot slot. We would need to find it on a chest slot, and I don't think that exists. Check real quick. Anything chest-wise that gives strength? I don't think so. That's okay, though. Alternatively, what we could just try to do is try to make sure that Gerskogel gets hit with a Strength of Giants in battles, right? We want to get some Spartals in with all of our different armies. So it'd be nice if Gerskogel could get hit by a Strength of Giants, because that'd be plus 4 strength, which would put her at plus 12 strength. So plus 12 strength. I don't know, actually. So she has 12 strength. Plus 12 strength would be 24. Which, yeah, that would be a break point. Would it? Yeah, that'd be 8. Break point for 8. So she would do 8 additional damage with the Ivory Bow. And the Ivory Bow does 12 damage. So her Ivory Bow shots would be doing 20 armor-piercing damage. As it is, because we don't have that extra 4 strength, she'll be sitting at 20 strength with the boots and the Girdle of Might. So 20 strength is going to lose her out on 2 points. So her shot will be doing 18, not armor-piercing. Is it armor-piercing? My brain! It don't work sometimes. It is armor piercing. It's armor piercing, pierce damage. So very good. Because those stack, I believe. So that's interesting, right? She should be doing a hefty chunk of damage, even to decently damaged foes. So we'll see. That could be cool. Again, weird pet project. Probably not going to amount to anything, but it's fun. Cold as Ice is taking an off turn because we're done with Ice Devils and we don't have access to Archdevils or Heliophagai yet, which we will next turn. So we are doing an Armor of Souls this turn. We've equipped the Bloodthorn and a Dwarven Hammer. We're making Armor of Souls for 37. Nope, that's wrong. For 38. Blood sacrifices, easy peasy. So this will be a +1 to blood booster. I'm saying it, just show it. This is Armor of Souls, +1 blood magic, +5 magic resistance, decent-ish armor. Really, we just use it for the boost. And then the other boost item is the Brazen Vessel, which is just +1 blood magic. Okay, so we can use that on this and the Bloodthorn. On Loki, we're not going to have enough Blood Slaves to do double Archdevils every single turn. We might have a couple turns where that happens, right? But it's not going to happen every single turn, so we'll probably take a turn with Loki to make a Brazen Vessel while we use our God, or vice versa, right? Whichever. To forge other things or to summon Archdevils, right? So we'll see how it goes. More Dark Knowledge, more Arcane Probing from Bifrons. We are making another Robe of the Sea with Nikafor. Okay. And this is without a hammer because he can't hold a hammer. Right. I would have done this with a different individual, but I kind of want everyone else doing what they're doing. I guess I could. No. And then we have Gap, right? Or Gop. The Ice Devil. So this is the last Ice Devil. Gop has less water magic compared to everyone else. And I think his stats are the same otherwise. Gap's special thing is that he wields a Hell Sword and he has natural fire resistance. So he naturally has 15 fire resistance, which is awesome. Because all of the Ice Devils actually come with -5 fire resistance. But then, we'll show this off real quick. I need to be sure to put that back on. So he has a Hell Sword, which is really chunky as far as damage goes. 14 damage plus his 23. That makes sense. 14 plus 23. That does not make sense. That is 37 damage. Why is it 42? I do not know. It's because it's an extra 25% strength. I always forget about that with 200 weapons. So the sword hits really hard. It has a high attack addition, so it's very likely to hit. It's actually decently long at length 3, so it can repel some things. And very importantly, it has partial life drain. So partial life drain, it does up to 5 HP, will be drained to the benefit of the attacker. The life drain will go partially to HP and partially to FP. So it's just nice. And it's not even that great, honestly. There are way better weapons to put on him. But we'll be thematic and leave it on him. It's fine. For now, we want the Dwarven Hammer, though. Okay, so that is pretty much it for this setup. Is there anything else that we want to talk about? We're continuing to recruit a Svardolf and the Hellherdings here in Helheim. Because, of course, we are. We have 44 Hellherdings here. So we've got a little bit of a group, a little bit of a posse, and then we've got basically another 100 Hellherdings over here with some mixture of forces in Sarmatia. So we do not have very good standing armies for 56 turns into the game. This is why we're looking into options like Naiad Warriors and other scenarios. I think that's about it. I am very apprehensive about the next couple turns. I have a feeling that something is going to kick off in the near future. I feel like either Kalem's going to attack us, thinking that they can bowl us over and win without anyone realizing it, or Tirnanog's going to attack us in the hope that we are going to be the easier opponent compared to Kalem. So, and I don't necessarily disagree with them. We'll have to see how it goes. Fingers crossed, again, that our blood economy continues to produce. Next turn into Archdevils. And, research. I didn't check this. We're going to be on Archdevils next turn, right? As well as Father Ill-Earth. We'll probably immediately try to get Pedosian. But after that, we're actually going to pop up Evocation, which will take just a single turn, hopefully, to make sure that we have storm access wherever we need it. And then we go for Probably we go for blood 8 at that point. Or, and we talked about this previously, we could go up to something like Conjuration 8 for the 4 dwarves. Or, and I think this is probably more likely, we go for something like Alteration 7 for Mass Protection. Because Mass Protection is gonna be a pretty good buff as far as defending us from, like, alien forces or Tyrannog. Anyways, that's going to be it for the turn. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.